عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله وحمدا كثيرا وهو الله لا إله إلا هو له الحمد في الأولى والآخرة وله الحكم وإليه ترجعون. والحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصين معه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين رحمة للعالمين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين أبي القاسم محمد. والصلاة والسلام على آله وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم وهو أصدق القائلين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم رجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. All the praise and all the glory belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, for this year's majlis, as you know, I have been telling you every night, that I have chosen the following ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 207, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And there is a type of man, says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there is a type of man who gives his life to earn the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is full of kindness to His slaves. Now, this ayat was revealed, as we are told by Mufassirin, both among the top Sunni scholars. I gave it the name, Tafsir al-Kabir by Razi, and many other Sunni scholars, and from totally all Shia Mufassirin, that this ayat was revealed for Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. When Imam Ali, took to sleep in the bed of Rasulullah so that Rasulullah could escape from Mecca for the hijrah to Medina. So what we want to do is that we want to look, together in this year's Muharram Majlis, the role played by Imam Ali in helping the Risalat of Rasulullah. And at the same time, take the opportunity to learn and understand the seerah of Rasulullah itself, because it is so very important for us to understand what true Islam is and what is expected of us to become successful both in this dunya as well as in the akhirah. We can learn this if we truly study and understand the seerah and the risalat of Rasulullah. Our duty in the world is not only in this dunya, but to earn the akhirah. That is why we have got this dunya. And really to be successful, one of the greatest ways is to understand the risalat of Rasulullah. Anything we say is not related only to the Shia history, but from our brothers' books, from the scholars and the ulama of Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah. Sallu ala Nabi. Allahumma salli ala Now, alhamdulillah, we covered last night up to where the companions are told, to close their doors entering into the masjid of Rasulullah, except the door of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Now, there are still about 35 incidents, to cover about Imam Ali in the Risalat. Another 35 incidents. And I have got only 4 more days left. And we were discussing with the Sayyid, today, and really, so, to keep with the time, I must actually finish, by 9 p.m. So we have got only 4 days, which means that we have to discuss 8.75 incidents of Imam Ali every day from now until. So we will do our best, to cover as much as we can, but at the same time, what we will have to do is we'll have to leave discussing many things in between what happens, the incidents that we are going to describe about Imam Ali from one incident to the other incident. There are many things happening between that with Rasulullah, which are so very important, which we will have to leave because, it will give you a chance, to study them, yourself. However, there's one particular incident which I feel, that I don't want to leave it. I don't feel it right if I leave it out, but I want to discuss this very, very fast. And I would request you to, follow up with your own readings. And the reason why I want to discuss this, I don't want to leave this because no other scholar has spoken to you about this, because this is not in the books of Islam. It is something that you find in Encyclopedia Britannica. This deals with a very, very important thing that happened after the Hijrah, and that is that that Rasulullah, in Medina there were 3 Jewish tribes: Banu Nadir, Banu Qaynuqa, and Banu Qurayza. Three Jewish tribes, and 2 Arab tribes, Aus and Khazraj. There was always a dispute between Arabs and the Jews, and the Jews used to say to the Arabs that you wait, आप ठहर जाइए, एक दिन आने वाला है, वहाँ से हमारा मसीह आएगा. They used to point to the south. Okay, there will be a prophet who will arise from there, and when he will come, we will be ruling over you. So there was this, dispute. There were also some, Christians. There were also some others as well. But the 3 Arab tribes, the three Jewish tribes, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, and Banu Qurayza, and Aus and Khazraj. What Rasulullah did was absolutely unique in the history. And that is, that he created a charter. That charter is called As-Sahifa. Everybody knows about this, and you have heard about this from the other scholars as well, from the Mimbar. That Rasulullah created a charter, it's called As-Sahifa. It is known as the document. It was the first document of its kind in the history of mankind. There has been no other document like this created by anyone. You are actually you're thinking about the 7th century Arabia. At that time, to create this kind of document, a charter, the charter that that brought all the people together under the charter, and he called them Ummah. Now, of course, Ummah refers only to us, but in the charter, he referred Ummah to all, the Jews, the Christians, and the rules were very clear. Everybody, anyone can worship whatever they want. They can do the trade, they can do the businesses, they can do everything. It was totally free. Now, what I want you to know, which not many know because you've not actually read it, is that Tom Jefferson, when he was creating the Constitution of America, the Constitution of which America is so proud, that Constitution was created by Tom Jefferson. And Tom Jefferson was aware of the history of Islam. As a matter of fact, he had the Quran with him. And Tom Jefferson's Quran is still kept in the White House. As a matter of fact, one of a black diplomat who was given who has actually become a senator, he insisted that he will swear from the Quran, and the Quran has to be Jefferson's Quran. So they brought Jefferson's Quran, and he swore on it. So Jefferson had the copy of the Quran. And Jefferson knew about this constitution, the Constitution of Medina. It is called the Constitution of Medina in English. In Arabic, it's called As-Sahifa, Sahifa of Rasulullah. He was so much inspired with that constitution that in his constitution, the Constitution of America, that Americans are so proud, we are told in Encyclopedia Britannica, you can go home and refer to Encyclopedia Britannica, and you will see that Tom Jefferson took the inspiration from the Constitution of Medina. As a matter of fact, there are two lines which are exactly translated from the Constitution of Medina, from the Sahifa into the Constitution. So, this was, something that I thought, that you should know, because this is extremely, it is so interesting, something that you will be able to really discuss, do some research on that, go to Encyclopedia Britannica and look at the Constitution of Medina, or, look at a Sahifa, and you will see all the details there. So that was one thing that I definitely wanted to tell you. Okay, so let's have one salawat, please. Now, so then to continue then, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gathered the Muhajirun and he gathered the Ansar. Muhajirun are those who did the Hijrah. Okay, so Arabs, Muslims from Makkah, when they did the Hijrah, they are known as Muhajirun, and those who accommodated them in Medina, they are called Ansar. Ansar are only those who are the helpers. It comes from the word Nasara. Ansar are those who are actually helpers. So what Rasulullah did was, so now look at the things, that he's doing. I really think about this. First of all, this Sahifa, the document which brought everybody together. Now he's bringing Muhajirun and Ansar, together. So he takes one Muhajir and one Ansar, and he makes them into brothers. But he leaves Imam Ali to the end. And then he takes the hand of Imam Ali and puts it in his hand, and he says that you are my brother. So he said, you are my brother in this world and in the next, in dunya and in akhirah. So after this, now you got the Sahifa, the document, the whole of Mecca, it is now becoming an ummah, everybody signed to it, all the 3 Jewish tribes signed to it, Hussain Khimji signed to it, everybody who was living in Medina signed to that. Now here is also this Muhajirin and Ansar, so you can imagine how wonderful feeling in 7th century Arabia, where people are thinking of raids and killings, murders. Here is total peace, something so peaceful. It is quite totally out of this world. So after this, then love and sympathy between Muhajir and Ansar increased tremendously. A strange spirit of bonding and love and adherence to Rasulullah and Islam, followed because of this. Now there is a Quranic revelation where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَنَصَرُوا أُولَٰئِكَ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يُهَاجِرُوا مَا لَكُم مِّن وَلِيٍّ مِّن وَلَايَتِهِم مِّن شَيْءٍ حَتَّىٰ يُهَاجِرُوا وَإِنِ اسْتَنصَرُوكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ فَعَلَيْكُمُ النَّصْرُ إِلَّا عَلَىٰ قَوْمٍ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَهُمْ مِيثَاقٌ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. The translation is, this in Surah Al-Anfal, ayat number 72, Allah says, those who believed and adopted exile, they did the hijrah, and fought for the faith with their property and their persons in the cause of Allah, as well as those who gave them asylum, speaking about now Ansar, as well as those who gave them asylum and helped them, they are all friends and protectors one of another. As to those who believed but did not come for the hijrah, you do not owe them any duty of protection until they come, not into exile. But if they seek your help in religion, it is your duty to help them, except against the people with whom you have a treaty of mutual alliance. And remember, Allah sees all that you do. So this was very, 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 very unique. Now, you will think, that because of the hijrah, everything was nice and dandy, but it was not. There were lots and lots and lots of problems. The major problems were three. One was, a threat from the Quraysh in Mecca. Of course, they hated the now Muslims have, expanded. They've left Mecca. Now they've established their own state in Medina. This was intolerable to them. They were also actually raiding as well in the darkness of the night. They used to raid, in the outskirts. There was a big threat from them. The other threat was, the Jews. Although they signed to the Sahifa, they were not ready to accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the Rasulullah, because they were expecting a Rasul to come, a Messiah to come, but not from Banu Ismail, but from Banu Israel. But Rasulullah was from Banu Israel, and this, they could not accept. Also, in their own books, the Messiah is going to be, from the children of, Dawood alayhi salam. So here was, the children of Nabi Ismail. So they were not. Some accepted, but not all. So there was this, jealousy, animosity. But the major problem was the third problem, and that was with the munafiqun, with the hypocrites. Before the migration, people were looking up to a person by the name of Abdullah ibn Ubay to become the leader of Medina. Now, because now it is, Rasulullah who was invited, he lost his chance. So he was actually pretending that he is believing in the message, that he's believing in Rasulullah, but in his heart was this hatred, that he has lost the chance to become the leader. And therefore he is, he is considered in the seerah to be the leader of the munafiqun. Now, munafiqun are the most dangerous group in any society. You know that, I think in the two-line shairi is Gar ko aag lag gayi gar ke chirag se. So when you have got an aag in your own home, and if that aag is not faithful to you, it can burn you. In the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, you find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, describes, those who are the muflihun, right? 5 ayat, alif lam, seleke, up to 5 ayat. Those who follow this, they are the one who are muflihun. First ayat, believers, 5 ayat. Two ayat after that is for the kuffar, those who do not believe, they will not believe. But then several ayat, up to ayat number 20, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, describing munafiqun, how dangerous they are. And there is the whole surah of Surah Al-Munafiqun in the Quran. So you see that, it is, the situation was not as, as dandy. After the hijrah, there are going to be many problems. So now it is already time, for me. I've got another 2 minutes. So these were the problems, and these problems now are going to create, battles. There was going to be, a battle of Badr, but before that, very quickly, before I actually finish, let me just, tell you that in the second year of Al-Hijrah, then it came the betrothal, the wedding of Bibi Fatima to Zahra, salam alayha. This happened in the second Al-Hijrah in the month of Ramadan, but not Rukhsati. Rukhsati was delayed until the month of Dhul-Hajj. Now this marriage, is revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who told Bibi Fatima Zahra that Allah had informed him of his choice, Allah's choice, from the noblest of the earth of two blessed men, one being her father and the other her husband, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And that Allah had decreed, the Prophet's lineal descendants to spring from the couple, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam and Bibi Fatima Zahra, and not direct from himself. So this was, the news, excellent news in the second Al-Hijrah. After that, there's going to come the Battle of Badr, which we are actually going to, speak about, inshallah, tomorrow. And I'll have to go very, very fast. I'll have to leave all the other details. I will have to leave, but about Sahifa was very important, because I think that you should know, because it would really help you, So in the main, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهلها وتذل به النفاق وأهلها وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة إنك أنت الوهاب إنك على كل شيء قدير صلى الله على النبي.